Chapter 2.2 Methodology and Assumptions. Let us formulate our basic assumptions. 1. There is an intelligent matter responsible for the living world development and evolution. 2. Is this intelligent matter natural, materialistic, or supernatural, or pure spiritual? The answer depends on the definition of the materialistic. Is information materialistic or spiritual? I believe that it is not pure materialistic. You cannot grab it with a hand. You are not able to measure its physical characteristics, mass, length, width, electric charge, etc. Empty a floppy disk, and the floppy disk with billions of the information bytes look and smell the same. But an empty diskette is of very little value, and a floppy disk with information can cost millions. Information is not materialistic, but it cannot exist without material carriers. Information carried by a sound is transmitted by air vibration, and the vibration is caused by the movement of physical objects, vocal cords motion, lungs contraction, vibration of the membrane. Photons transfer visual information and are excited by objects that radiate them. Information in the computer cannot be saved without hard memory devices. 3. The intelligent matter behind the living world, if it exists, is also not material, but it is based on material objects. Without those objects, by itself, it does not exist. On the other hand, this intelligent matter must have an impact on physical objects, which are parts of a living organism. How can the immaterial matter affect the material one? Same way as a word affects you. If someone shouts into your ear, "Boo!" you just turn around in bewilderment. And if your mom says with the same loudness, "Dinner is ready," you will rise and go to the table. And the office of the dealer company comes a fax with the words, "Sell!" and a crowd of clerks rush to the keyboards and sell the shares. 4. The intelligent matter is one for all living organisms. I cannot claim the authorship of this assumption. Many prominent thinkers in the past came to this idea before me. The whole nations, such as Indians or Japanese, have long considered all living things a single organism. 5. Scientific facts that were accumulated by generations of researchers are accepted by my hypothesis at face value. 6. Theories accommodating these facts are either incorrect or incomplete. Many of them contain brilliant revelations, but none are answering the main questions. Where did life come from, why it develops, and why the vector of its development leads to the emergence of increasingly complex and intelligent, not the fittest, organisms? What is this intelligent matter? We learn later, but I would like to immediately dismiss the attempts to identify this matter with Yahweh, Allah, or Shiva. This would mean a literal, thoughtless reading of the holy texts, which bear the truth but were written for the ancient audience. For instance, Jesus said to the Samaritan woman at the well, "God is spirit," John 4:24. But what exactly did he mean? Who can see, represent, or measure the spirit? The research method adopted in this book is more scientific than super or unscientific. Everywhere, we will rely on the measurable phenomena of the physical world. Nevertheless, we reserve the right to go beyond purely logical reasoning, for the testimonies of enlightened persons are no less important than a carefully verified experiment or mathematically correct proof of the theorem. Many of us remember the fascinating film Midnight in Paris, whose hero, Gil Pender, is transferred in time from modern life to the 1920s. There he meets with Pablo Picasso and his mistress Adriana. Picasso paints a portrait of Adriana and tells his story to Pender. Upon returning to our days, Gil is in the museum where the same portrait is exhibited. His high-ranking friend, Paul, claims that this is a portrait of a completely different woman. Gil tries to convey to them a true story and accompanies his inconsistent narrative with genuine details. But he, possessing the real knowledge, was looked upon as being drunk. We will sometimes use the revelations contained in the Holy Scriptures, trying to understand the allegory contained in them. The main line of our book is the analogy between the Creator and the creation, i.e., humankind. Since we are created in His image, then by analyzing our society structure, we can make at least an approximate idea of how the Creator works. And you will see that this is a very useful and fruitful analysis. The method we adopted in this book would be referred to as a combined one.